Hey everyone. Today we are digging into a question that I know causes a ton of anxiety for anyone who's just gone solar. You look at your brand new system and you think, wait a minute, why isn't this thing producing the power I was promised? Let's get to the bottom of it. So picture this, right? You've just invested in a really powerful 1400-watt solar system. You're super excited, you go to check your inverter, and it's only cranking out, say, 800 watts. Your first thought is probably, oh no, something is broken. And you would not be alone in thinking that. This is a real quote from a client who went through this exact same panic. And that feeling, that deep worry that you've been ripped off or sold some faulty gear, that's exactly what we're going to clear up today. So where's the disconnect? Well, the whole answer is right here. It's all about understanding the massive difference between a panel's rated power and its real-world power. It's time to close that expectation gap. Okay, so you see that big number on the solar panel's spec sheet, right? Like 350 watts. What does that actually mean? Well, that's its power output measured in a lab. And I mean a lab with absolutely perfect, pristine, never going to happen in real life conditions. And this is really the whole story. On one side, you've got the lab. Think super intense, perfectly angled sunlight, a nice and cool panel temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, and literally zero dust. And then there's your roof, dealing with clouds, brutal heat, dust, bird droppings, and shadows. They're just two different worlds. And all that brings us to the most important number in this whole explainer. In the real world, you should expect your panels to produce about 60 to 80% of their maximum rated power. Seeing a number in this range isn't a sign of failure. It's actually a sign that everything is working just right. So what are these real-world things that are literally stealing your watts? Well, let's meet the culprits. I like to call them the power killers. There are 5 main offenders. First, you've got the sun's strength. It's just not as powerful in the morning or late afternoon. Then there's heat, and we'll get back to that one. You've also got dust and grime just building up over time. The direction your panels are facing plays a huge role. And of course, shading from anything like trees or nearby buildings. Now this one messes with a lot of people's heads. You'd think a blistering hot, sunny day would be perfect for solar, right? More sun, more heat, more power. But actually, it's the opposite. Extreme heat makes solar panels less efficient at turning that sunlight into electricity. Kind of wild. And you can't just ignore the little things. I mean, look at this. Just a thin layer of dust and dirt building up on your panels can cut their output by as much as 20%. That's a massive hit from something so simple. I know this is a lot of technical stuff. Efficiency, temperature coefficients. So let's just use a super simple analogy to make it all click. I want you to just imagine your entire solar panel system is one big water drum, and our job is to fill it up. All right, so check this out. The panel's rating, that 350-watt number, that's like the size of the drum. It has the capacity to hold 200 liters of water. It's huge. But the sunlight, that's the water pressure. If the sun is low in the sky or it's a bit hazy, the pressure is weak. So it doesn't matter how big your drum is, you're not going to fill it. Your actual output is just the water you actually collect on any given day. And you know what? That client from the beginning, once he got it, he put it perfectly. He said the panel's power rating is just the size of the bucket. But the sun, yeah, the sun is the real boss. It's the one that decides how much power actually goes into the bucket. I just love that. Okay, so now that we get why this happens, let's talk about what we can do about it. Here's your action plan to make sure you're squeezing every last watt out of your system. First off, let's use the same quick mental math that the pros use. As a rule of thumb, engineers expect a healthy system to produce about 70 to 80% of its rated wattage under good, sunny conditions. So let's circle back to our original 1400-watt system. That big number is the absolute maximum. That 100% bar. But a realistic healthy output on a good day, that's going to be somewhere in the 900 to 1100 watt range. So that 800 watts our friend was worried about, that could have just been a reading from mid-morning, which is totally normal. And here's a little checklist for you. Number 1, keep those panels clean. Give them a rinse now and then. 2, just be aware of their orientation to the sun. 3, keep an eye out for new things causing shade, like a tree that's grown a lot. And finally, number 4, if you're gonna check your system's peak power, do it during peak sun hours, usually between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That's when you'll see the biggest numbers. So the next time you go to check your inverter and you see that number, you can ask yourself this question. Is my system actually underperforming, or is it just perfectly meeting a realistic expectation in our beautiful, sunny, and, slightly imperfect real world?